Rashaun Martin joins us in studio. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's always great to have you.
Saw you in church this morning, too.
Oh, yes. Well, I don't get much chance to go to daily mass, because of school, unfortunately. So I took an opportunity.
Well, we haven't seen you for some time. Bring us up to date with what's been going on.
Well, sure. Well, still involved with the Knights of Peter Claver. I still serve as the Grand Knight. Been doing it for several years here, here in the diocese. Still very much involved with my parish, St. Catherine Drexel. I sit on the liturgy committee for them. Still MC some masses, and still pretty much involved with the Catholic University of America, where I went to college as an undergrad, and I'm actually the vice president for the National Alumni Association currently, for the school. So, I always say, when I'm not at school, I'm at church. So that's just kind of how I roll.
Which is a good thing. Let's turn our focus now to the Catholic University of America. We were speaking a bit about that great institution before the show went live today. Now, you serve on the Board of Governors, right?
Yes.
What is it like to be able to provide that service to a school that provided so much service to you?
Oh, it has been a real blessing and a great opportunity to be able to serve the church's institution. Be able to keep alumni connected, be able to advise the school when asked, being able to encourage students, who are in high schools across the country to think about going to the Catholic U. I got such a great education for 4 years, such great spiritual development. It is just a great institution to attend school. So I'm really thrilled and privileged to have the opportunity to be a leader for the institution in that capacity.
Do you get a chance to interact at all with President John Garvey, because he's been so kind to us?
Yeah, I mean, all the time. Probably he's a good Boston guy. So it moves me up to the front of the line when I'm usually down there.
Good.
So I do get down to the school 2 times a year for the board meetings, and then I run into him at various alumni events, and and he's been great. We've been able to have a lot of conversations about the state of the school and the direction it should go, and and I really have been helped to play a role to try to get more students of color to go to the university. He's big on trying to pick up the number of students of Latino descent and African American students to come to DC, so that the school truly represents the great diversity of the church itself. So and I've been able to help a lot in that realm.
So the Knights of Peter Claver, tell us a little bit for our viewers out there who don't know about Peter Claver.
Sure. Well, Peter Claver was a missionary, and served the poor, served the served the slaves at the time of slavery, and so he's the patron saint for all of the African American members, especially here, of the organization. It is the largest historically and predominantly African American lay organization that we have in the United States. It's headquartered in Louisiana, in New Orleans, but there are councils and lady auxiliary courts, as we call them, all across the country. And most members make up what we call the 3rd degree, and then there's also a 4th degree level, of the organization, which actually I'm a member of now.
4th degree, oh.
Yeah, they've allowed me to move up, which is a really great
I give Jay
opportunity.
the 3rd degree every once in a while.
I knew somehow I was going to get hit on that one there.
My big question for you is, okay, you're a dad, you're an educator, you're very, very active, obviously, in the Knights of Peter Claver, the Board of Governors for Catholic University, on and on and on. How do you keep it all together?
Well, it's a big juggling act, my wife never thinks I'm home, so even though I try to make an argument that I am, as much as possible, but, it's really all about service, and if I can find these ways through these opportunities, to give back, to make the life better, for others. I always say if I can make today better for somebody, than it was yesterday, then I'm going to do it. And that's a big part of who our family is. My My wife does a lot of service work. She's a devout Catholic herself, and we're trying to infuse the faith amongst the girls. They're 4 and 6 years old, and we get them to church every Sunday or as often as we possibly can. Thank goodness the church lets them run around when they need to during the Mass, like they used to do for me when I was 6. So that's kind of how we do it. But I think the faith is important, and it just gives us a piece to really keep us sort of keep us moving, and you just keep doing it. I think there's no real way to be able to juggle or to manage. You just find every opportunity to keep serving as long as God lets me.
Oh, I'm smiling because I remember those days with the 4 and 6-year-old running around, and we used to have the crying rooms.
Oh,
I don't think they have as many of those
anymore. They don't
anymore.
have as many anymore.
Yeah,
no.
but those are wonderful things.
Yep.
What are some of the things that the Knights and the ladies do?
Well, we do local service to the church. We do a lot of work with Catholic Charities. We serve as a prayer group. The men and the ladies gather once a month to pray. Which is very important.
Oh yeah.
And there's a level of prison ministry from time to time. And and we're also there as an organization to be called upon, by the pastor of the church or by the archbishop, to serve in whatever capacity that the church needs. And in a more formal way, when we have special events and special liturgies, we will turn out, as we'll call it, and so we'll put on our full regalia, which includes a fez hat and gloves and
it's sharp.
yes,
I've seen it.
I
It's
have a
sharp.
sword, as a fourth degree member, and and there to be sort of the honor guard, especially for the bishop, if they're presiding.
See,
as a
Jay
part of the
wants a
liturgy.
sword, but I've said no swords.
Yeah, no
Jay,
sword,
no
no
swords.
sword, yeah.
Well, where can people learn more?
Sure. Well, we have a website, which is kfpc.org. It's the national website. Gives you all the history and gives you all the membership information, and there are ways to be able to contact your local Grand Knights like myself to be able to join a council. But no matter where you live in the country, especially in the United States, chances are there's a local quarter council for you to join, and we're always looking for new members.
KFPC.org.
Yeah,
It was
.org,
amazing
yeah.
when you said that; it just appeared on the screen.
Yeah, all those. Well, see, that's good. God is good.
We're good like that.
Yeah, well, excellent.
Rashaun, thanks so much for being with us.
Sure,
Next time
no,
we'll have
thanks
your
for
wife.
having me.
We'll have your wife
Well,
on
sure,
there too.
I'm
and
sure
the
she'd
4
love
and
to come
6-year-old, we'll let
Yes,
them
and
run
the
around.
girls, yes, and the
They
girls.
can go
but,
inside the donut
inside the
here.
thrilled.
and-
Exactly.
We
Sure.
appreciate.
Well,
Always
thank
great to
you.
have you on.
Listen, always great to be here, and keep up the good work, and happy anniversary, Father.
See, good. I love it.
Here we go.